Peace be with you, Lovisians. Today's Gospel is replete with symbols of service. Holy Thursday describes how Jesus transformed the Jewish Passover into the Eucharistic celebration. First, he washed his apostles' feet, a tender reminder of his undying affection for them. Then he commanded them to do the same for each other. This reminds us that our vocation to take care of one another, as Jesus always takes care of us. He finally gave his apostles his own body and blood under the appearance of bread and wine, as food and drink for their souls. Thus, Jesus washed their feet, fed them, and then offered his life for his beloved disciples. As one Louisian family, we are challenged to become like Jesus, service-oriented and compassionate, that the whole world may find room in our hearts.
A reading from the Gospel of John, chapter 13, verses 1 to 15. Before the feast of Passover, Jesus knew that his hour had come to pass from this world to the Father. He loved his only the world, and he loved them to the end. The devil had already induced Judas, son of Simon the Iscariot, to hand him over. So, during supper, fully aware that the Father had put everything into his power, and he had come from God and was returning to God, he rose from supper and took off his outer garments. He took a towel and tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and dry them with the towel around his waist. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Master, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered and said to him, "What I am doing you do not understand now, but you will understand later." Peter said to him, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus answered him, "Unless I wash you, you will have no inheritance with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Master, then not only my feet, but my hands and head as well." Jesus said to him, "Whoever has bathed has no need except to have his feet washed, for he is clean all over. So you are clean, but not all." For he knew who would betray him. For this reason, he said, "Not all of you are clean." So when he had washed their feet, and put his garments back on, and reclined at the table again, he said to them, "Do you realize what I have done for you? You call me teacher and master, and rightly so, for indeed I am. If I, therefore the Master and Teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash one another's feet. I have given you a model to follow, so that as I have done for you, you should also do. The Gospel of the Lord.
On this blessed Maundy Thursday, we commemorate the deep signs of the mystery of God's love. In the washing of the feet and the giving of His body and blood through the meal, we find signs of service. Jesus gives a new intention and purpose of service through this meal, that is, communion. In this banquet, He ate with people He called friends, people He later on called children of His Father. The Eucharist was made visible in the witness of Jesus' self-giving love. The Eucharist is a living gathering of friends where meaning is present, intimacy abounds, and life is given. In the Eucharist, we are not mere friends, but are one family. In the Eucharist, the stories are not mere recalling, but the living out and the living on of what had happened in the past, especially on the Last Supper and on the Passion, Death, and Resurrection of Jesus Christ. More than anything else, the food which is served and is eaten in the Eucharist is the very life itself. Jesus, the life of the world. And so, just as this meal has assumed a new meaning, which is communion, this banquet of a family called for and dignified by God has become in itself a mission. The meal is a mission for everyone who partakes of it. Jesus commands, "Do this in memory of me." It is a meal that is forever bridging the past and the future as it is celebrated in the present. The Eucharist is a mission and a commission. It is our mission to celebrate it faithfully, make it meaningful, and live it. It is also a commissioning or mission symbol, because, like Christ, we who are united with Him in baptism are meant to be missionaries, to wash each other's feet by bringing His life to the world, bring healing to the broken, especially the people affected by the COVID pandemic, and bring this light in the midst of darkness in our society. On the same day, Christ instituted priesthood and the Eucharist. He commands His disciples to love one another as He loved them. The Eucharist is therefore a commission to love. The priesthood is the vocation which sees through that the call to love one another is carried out and proclaimed for all times, because love is the language of the Eucharist and the kingdom.